One day, a prisoner named Johnson was brought to jail. Johnson was thin, frail, and weak-looking. The jailer was dragging him forward while beating him, but the other prisoners were throwing shoes at him relentlessly. Frustrated by the commotion, the jailer shouted loudly, causing all the prisoners to fall silent instantly. The frail man, Johnson, was locked up in a cell. The next morning, all the prisoners were let out of their cells, including Johnson. As soon as he stepped outside, the other prisoners grabbed him and started beating him. Johnson tried to escape and ran into a room, but even there, he was beaten mercilessly. The poor man was treated like a football, kicked around so badly that, terrified, he ran back to his cell and hid. The following day, all the prisoners were eating their meals. Johnson also brought his food tray, but the other prisoners snatched his food and ate it. His tray was left empty. When Johnson looked around, he saw a large prisoner with a pile of food. As Johnson approached, the big prisoner picked him up and threw him aside. Standing before Johnson, the large prisoner was ready to attack, and Johnson began trembling with fear. Just as the big prisoner was about to hit him, a bug appeared near Johnson. The large prisoner was so scared of the bug that he stumbled and fainted. Seeing this unexpected scene, all the prisoners were shocked and started fearing Johnson. From that moment on, Johnson enjoyed himself. Wherever he went, the prisoners would run away in fear. One day, Johnson approached the big prisoner again, who was working out in the gym. The big prisoner was terrified at the sight of Johnson, but decided to attack him this time. As he charged toward Johnson, the same bug appeared again. Once more, the big prisoner fainted from fear. Seizing the moment, Johnson put a leash around the large prisoner's neck and began parading him around. The big prisoner became Johnson's slave, obeying his every command. However, one day the large prisoner refused to follow Johnson's orders. Enraged, Johnson had the bug bite him. As soon as the bug bit him, the large prisoner lost his mind and started running wildly. Johnson climbed onto his back, riding him like a horse. But soon, they reached a point where they could go no further and had to stop. At that moment, Johnson woke up. He was still in his cell. He realized that he had been repeatedly trying to scare the big prisoner with the bug, but the prisoner was no longer afraid of it, and that's where the story ended.